Overcoming challenges is not a magical event that happens by chance, but the result of extraordinary choices made in seemingly ordinary moments. It is a challenging path where every step demands courage, determination, and above all, mental strength. Each of us carries within an immense potential, often dormant. However, most people never fully explore it because they allow themselves to be paralyzed by fear, doubts, or the comfort of routine. It is in this scenario that overcoming challenges becomes essential, not just as a concept but as a way of life. Everything starts with the courage to face reality head-on. How many times have we asked ourselves what truly keeps us from achieving our goals? It could be the fear of failure, negative opinions from others, or even our own self-sabotage. Identifying these barriers is the first step. It's not about ignoring them, but confronting them and challenging them. Write each one down, look at them as enemies to be defeated, and remember, you are greater than any obstacle. History is filled with examples of people who turned failures into stepping stones for success. Michael Jordan, for instance, was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was fired from a TV hosting job because they claimed she lacked charisma. These stories remind us that failure is not the end, but a new beginning. What separates dreamers from achievers is mindset. The power of the mind is the key to transforming difficulties into opportunities. While many give up at the first challenge, those who succeed in life see obstacles as lessons. They don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But instead, "What can I learn from this?" The mind is like a muscle that can be trained. Visualize your success every day. Feel as if you are already living your dreams. Science confirms that by focusing on your desired outcome, the brain begins to find ways to make it a reality. Make this a daily habit. Dedicate a few minutes to imagining your greatest dream, visualizing it in detail, how you feel, where you are, who is by your side. This simple exercise can completely change your outlook on life. But success isn't just about dreaming. Above all, it's a game of endurance. Are you willing to pay the price? Because the truth is, success doesn't come easy. While others sleep, you need to be working. While others complain, you need to find solutions. It is in moments of greatest pressure that great leaders are formed. Consider what you are willing to sacrifice. Would you commit to waking up at 4 a.m. every day for a year to pursue your goal? Would you have the courage to cut off toxic friendships that drain your energy? Success demands tough choices, but every sacrifice is an investment in your future. Pain is an inevitable part of the journey to overcoming challenges, but it is also a powerful fuel. The pain you feel today is the strength you will use tomorrow. Every scar, every tear shed is a reminder that you are stronger than you believe. Life isn't about avoiding falls. It's about learning to rise, no matter how many times you're knocked down. Even the darkest moments carry a purpose. Perhaps you've lost a job, faced betrayal, or dealt with rejection. Whatever your pain, it is temporary. What remains are the lessons it teaches. Use your pain as your greatest weapon. When someone says you can't, show them you can. When life knocks you down, rise with even more strength. Now, you have a choice to make. You can stay where you are, comfortable and safe, or you can take the first step toward the extraordinary future you've always dreamed of. What will you do? Grab a piece of paper now and write down 3 goals you want to achieve in the next 6 months. Then, write one concrete action for each of them. No matter how small the step, the important thing is to start. Commit to yourself. Remember, no one will fight for you more than you will. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. Success belongs to those who act, to those who fail and try again, to those who dare to face their fears and doubts. You were born to win, and that is a fact. Believe it with all your strength. And when you finally achieve your goal, Look back and see how every sacrifice, every pain, and every challenge was worth it. Because true success is not just in what we achieve, but in the person we become along the way. You can, you will, and the world is waiting to see what you are capable of. Transformation begins the moment you decide that your life will be greater than any obstacle. It is not a single act, but a daily commitment. It is when pain turns into purpose and dreams, once shelved, become the flame that lights your path. Each of us carries a story, and at some point, that story reaches a turning point. A moment when you look in the mirror and realize that no one is coming to rescue you, because the strength to change has always been within you. True change demands an internal confrontation. It's not about proving something to the world, but about being honest with yourself. Where have you been hiding? Behind excuses, fears, or a comfortable routine? Transformation is not comfortable. It's sweat-soaked, full of sleepless nights and moments when everything inside you screams to give up. But it is in that very scream that you find your power. Because overcoming begins when you decide there is no turning back, when the place you're in is no longer enough. What drives you? What gets you out of bed every morning? It might be a dream, a promise, or the desire to set an example for those who come after you. Whatever the reason, hold on to it tightly. Because there will be days when that inner flame is the only thing keeping you going. Make no mistake, the world isn't interested in your excuses, but it will respect your determination. And more than that, it will open doors for those who have the courage to knock until they're answered. Think about the moments when you were on the verge of giving up. What would have happened if you had kept going? What lies beyond your limits? It's easy to imagine that failure is a sign to stop, but in truth, it's a test of your endurance, your faith, and your ability to rise again. Great achievements are not born on easy ground. They emerge from adversity, chaos, and the persistence of those who refuse to accept defeat. The truth is this: failure is not the opposite of success, but an essential part of it. Do not underestimate the power of small steps. One brick at a time builds the most formidable wall. One habit at a time transforms an entire life. Choose today to do something that brings you closer to the future you desire. It could be reading for 10 minutes, walking a kilometer, or saying no to something that distracts you. These small acts, when repeated, create momentum. And when you look back, you'll realize it was this sequence of seemingly simple choices that led you to the extraordinary. But never forget, the journey is not just about reaching the summit, it's about who you become in the process. Character is shaped in difficulty, strength in endurance, and humility in the acknowledgement that there is always more to learn. Transformation is continuous, a cycle of new beginnings. Every victory brings new challenges, every achievement, new goals. This is what makes life rich, vibrant, and worthy of being lived. And now, having read this far, the question remains, what will you do with it? Will you stay where you are, or will you use this moment as the push towards something greater? The power is in your hands. Your story is still being written, and each page is a chance to turn the tide. Be relentless in your efforts, unshakable in your faith, and extraordinary in your journey. Believe this: the world is waiting for the impact only you can make.
Life challenges us in ways that sometimes feel unbearable. There are moments when the ground disappears beneath our feet, leaving us with nothing but the sensation of falling. Yet, it is in these moments that resilience becomes the invisible force that keeps us standing. Being resilient does not mean ignoring pain or pretending problems don't exist. It means facing them, acknowledging them, and choosing to move forward even when the world says it's impossible. Resilience is the muscle of the soul, and the more we exercise it, the stronger we become. Overcoming challenge is not a privilege reserved for a few, but a possibility open to anyone who chooses to fight. It is the decision not to give up in the face of adversity, to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Every fall, every mistake, every failure carries within it the seed of a lesson. And it is from that lesson that the strength to try again is born. Overcoming is more than conquering obstacles. It is transforming every scar into a badge of honor, every tear into fuel to keep going. True victory is not only about reaching the summit, but about who you become during the climb. Strength, contrary to what many believe, is not the absence of weakness, but the courage to continue despite it. There are days when everything seems to conspire against you, days when getting out of bed is an act of heroism. But it is on these days that you discover how powerful you truly are. Strength does not reveal itself in easy times, but in the ability to remain steadfast when everything seems to fall apart. And the beauty of it is that strength doesn't need to be grand. Sometimes it manifests in small acts, like a smile amidst the pain or the decision to try one more time. The journey of overcoming is solitary, but never insignificant. You may walk alone, but every step echoes as a cry of victory. It doesn't matter how many times you've been knocked down. What matters is how many times you've stood back up. Each obstacle overcome is a reminder that you are stronger than you ever imagined. When you look back and see all that you've faced, you realize that the hardest battles were also the ones that shaped your character the most. It is in adversity that we discover our essence, our capacity to endure, and the incredible strength that resides within us. And if today feels impossible, remember this: impossible is merely what hasn't been achieved yet. Everything you need is already within you. Resilience, strength, and the power to overcome are daily choices. True victory is not only about reaching the summit, but about who you become during the climb. Strength, contrary to what many believe, is not the absence of weakness, but the courage to continue despite it. There are days when everything seems to conspire against you, days when getting out of bed is an act of heroism. But it is on these days that you discover how powerful you truly are.